Let us commence the program with the blessings of the Divine and our Founder Chancellor, Thiru A.N. Radhakrishnan Sir. On behalf of the management and organizing committee, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you today for the inauguration of the National Conference on Emerging Trends in Healthcare and Multidisciplinary Studies, NCETHMS'24.
NCETHMS'24 aims to be a dynamic platform to exchange ideas, share insights, delve into the forefront of multidisciplinary studies, and to explore the diverse intersections of various fields, fostering collaboration and innovation. Delegates can anticipate engaging discussions, fresh perspectives, and the opportunity to contribute to the advancement of knowledge across disciplines. This grand endeavor will enable us to push the boundaries of multidisciplinary research and embark on a journey towards new breakthroughs in the emerging areas of healthcare and multidisciplinary studies.
Let us begin this momentous occasion with the Tamil Thai Valthu. I request everyone to kindly rise.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென நிகழ்வரத கண்டனிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பி எந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
With reverence and respect, we invite our dignitaries to light the Kuttuvilakku, symbolizing the illumination of knowledge and the triumph of enlightenment, and also pay floral respects to our founder chancellor, Thiru A.N. Radhakrishnan Sir.
அந்த சைடு வாங்க. Ma'am.
Dr. A. Pavitra to occupy the seats on the dais. We are truly delighted to have with us today a distinguished array of academicians and guests. I now invite the respected Dean Research, Professor Dr. N. Arunagirinathan, Organizing Chairman, NCETHMS'24, to welcome the gathering.
Very good morning to all dignitaries and delegates. It is a great privilege and honor for us to have you all here today. We are organizing the National Conference on Emerging Trends in Healthcare and Multidisciplinary Studies with the great support of Honorable Chancellor, Madam Mrs. R. Gomadi, and the esteemed Pro-Chancellor, Mrs. Jayanti Radhakrishnan. I have a great pleasure to welcome the distinguished Chief Guest of this function, Dr. Samiran Panda, former Additional Director General of Indian Council of Medical Research, Government of India, New Delhi, and also the Editor-in-Chief of Indian Council of Medical Research. I am very delighted to welcome the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor R.S. Neelakandan, for the inaugural function of this scientific event. I am very glad to welcome the dynamic Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Kritika, for this academic event. I feel very happy to welcome the respected Registrar, Dr. V. Surega, for this function. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Jaideep Mahendra, Scientific Committee Chairman, and the Organizing Committee, Dr. Pavitra, for this inaugural function. I extend a warm welcome to all the invited speakers, deans, associate deans, heads of the constituent colleges of Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research, organizing team members, IQAC team members, scientific committee members, faculty members, all officers, non-teaching staff members, research scholars, students, and delegates from various institutions for this inaugural function. I am very pleased to welcome all the media persons for the coverage of this national conference. Once again, I welcome one and all for this wonderful event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for kindly welcoming the gathering. I now request our Vice Chancellor to kindly welcome and honor our Chief Guest, Dr. Samiran Panda. I request the Controller of Examination, Professor Dr. Srinivasan, to kindly welcome and felicitate our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. R.S. Neelakandan. Thank you, sir. We welcome you, sir. I request our Dean, Student Affairs, Dr. Lily Christopher, to kindly welcome and honor our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Kritika. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. I now invite the Director, Center for Online Learning, Dr. Pushpa Nagini Sripada, to kindly felicitate our Registrar, ma'am. I request IQAC Director, Dr. Shyam Sivasamy, to welcome and honor our Dean Research, Dr. N. Arunagirinathan. Thank you, sir. I I request Dr. Chamundiswari, Principal, Faculty of Pharmacy, to welcome and honor Dr. Jaideep Mahindra, Chairman of Scientific Committee. I request Dr. Parthasarathi, Principal, Faculty of Physiotherapy, to welcome and honor Dr. Pavitra, Organizing Secretary of NCETHMS'24.
Thank you, dignitaries. We welcome you. Please take your seats. I now invite our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. R.S. Neelakandan, to deliver the felicitation address.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, guest speakers, delegates, members of the faculty, and my dear students. It's a great pleasure for me to address you all today at this conference on National Conference on Emerging Trends in Healthcare 2024. This academic extravaganza provides a significant opportunity for scholars, researchers, and practitioners to come together and engage in the meaningful dialogue about the latest advancements and future directions in healthcare and multidisciplinary studies. As we navigate the complexities of modern healthcare and the interconnectedness of various academic disciplines, it is crucial to foster an environment of collaboration and innovation. I am confident that the insights shared during this conference will contribute substantially to our knowledge and drive impactful change in our fields. I wish all the participants a productive and enlightening experience. Let us use this platform to push the boundaries of research and pave the way for new breakthroughs in healthcare and multidisciplinary studies. I extend my sincere wishes to the organizing committee for their dedication and hard work in making this national conference a reality. I am confident that this conference will be a resounding success, fostering innovation and sustainable development goals in healthcare and multidisciplinary studies. Thank you.
As we come together for this momentous occasion, we are reminded of the power of collaboration and innovation. This conference is not just a meeting of minds, but a convergence of ideas that have the potential to shape the future of research, healthcare, and multidisciplinary studies. On that note, I invite our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. C. Kritika, to deliver the special address.
Distinguished Chief Guest of the National Conference, Dr. Samiran Panda, sir. Esteemed Speaker, Dr. Sylvia Fernandez. Respected Vice Chancellor. Other distinguished dignitaries on and off the dais, a very good morning. It's a pleasure and honor to be here today to address you all on the National Conference on Emerging Trends in Healthcare and Multidisciplinary Studies. Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research, as you are aware, is an A+ accredited multidisciplinary deemed to be university with a healthcare core. And therefore, I believe that we are ideally poised to conduct a conference of this nature and this magnitude, and it gives us immense pleasure and honor to host you all for this conference. So we have an array of very eminent speakers from different backgrounds and across the spectrum of science and medicine and humanities. And I hope all the delegates will go home feeling much enriched after the scientific deliberations. When we look at this topic as it is, you can see that there are two components to it. One is the emerging trends, and the second is the multidisciplinary approach to education and healthcare. So emerging trends, I'm sure all of you are aware. We need to constantly keep updating ourselves, and if we don't update ourselves, we soon become outdated and we become antique pieces in the museum. So evolving with change is not an option, it's a necessity. The latest ChatGPT and other AI devices, I think have once again brought to the fore the importance to embrace change and to evolve with change. So, especially in healthcare, where things are changing very rapidly, day by day, it is imperative to keep ourselves updated with the current trends and the recent advancements in order to deliver the best possible healthcare to our patients. So, the emerging trends aspect is probably self-explanatory. So I want to dwell upon on the importance of the interdisciplinary or the multidisciplinary approach to education and healthcare. I'm reminded of an anecdote in Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I don't know how many of you have read that book, probably many of you would have. So where he gives an anecdote from Harvard Business School. A teacher shows a picture, a portrait of a woman to all the students in his class. And he asks the students what they see in that particular portrait. So one group of students say that they see an old woman, an ugly old woman with a large nose. And the second half of the students say that they are able to see a young, attractive woman with a large hat. And then they start fighting with each other about whose view of the portrait is correct. So the teacher then steps in and tells them to calm down and to discuss calmly about the differences in what they see. And so one starts to explain to the other how the same object can be perceived as a nose or as a hat, how the same line can be perceived either as a necklace or as the lip. So as they quietly start discussing and deliberating on their differences, they come to understand that you can look at the same thing and have two different viewpoints. You can disagree on the same thing and yet both opinions can be correct. So we can look at the same thing and have two different perspectives. Now this is the power of having different perspectives. After all, the diversity of perspectives and the plurality of opinions are going to enrich the research landscape. And this is what we aim to achieve by bringing together disciplines across healthcare and humanities in one common platform. All the 10 constituent colleges of Meher have been actively involved in putting together this conference. And I'm told that we have a whopping 1,000 and plus registrations from all over India. So we are really, really glad. And I think in this era of specialization and super specialization, maybe it is time to step back a little bit and look at a more holistic approach to education and healthcare, to be open to different. Earlier in the day, we were the chief guest, the Vice Chancellor and we were discussing about the need to be open-minded and the need to be accepting of other people's opinions and perspectives, even though you may have a different one, a contrary one. So this research conference, we hope, will provide a platform for delegates, students, and faculty members to express their own perspective of what they see as right in the field of science and research. So once again, my hearty gratitude to our management, our Pro-Chancellor and our Interim Chancellor for being extremely supportive in all our academic endeavors. And hearty congratulations to the Department of Research, the organizing committee. You've done a splendid job. And heartfelt gratitude to the heads of the institutions, all the committee members, all the delegates, participants, students, research scholars, and most importantly, all our eminent speakers who have traveled from far and wide to bless us with their insights and inputs. Thank you very much. It is a wonderful opportunity to be here and wish you all a very happy learning experience.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to call upon Dr. Jaideep Mahindra, Professor and Head, Department of Periodontology, Meenakshi Ammal Dental College, and Chairman of Scientific Committee, to introduce our distinguished guest of the day, Dr. Samiran Panda, to the august audience.
Good morning, everybody. It's indeed my privilege to introduce the most eminent and distinguished scientist and our chief guest of the day, Dr. Samiran Panda. Dr. Samiran Panda is presently the editor-in-chief of Indian Journal of Medical Research. He is also the ICMR Dr. A.S. Paintal Distinguished Scientist Chair. He has also been a former Additional Director General of Indian Council of Medical Research, New Delhi. Dr. Panda completed his MBBS from Calcutta National Medical College and Diploma in Tropical Medicine and Hygiene. Therefore, he did his MD from School of Tropical Medicine, Calcutta. He also completed his postdoctoral fellowship from the University of California, Los Angeles, USA. Sir started his research as a senior research officer at ICMR, National Institute of Cholera and Enteric Diseases, Calcutta in 1991, and conducted HIV and AIDS research in the northeastern states such as Manipur and other metropolitan cities of India. Sir has also significantly contributed to the in-country policy and programs for the containment of HIV epidemic. Later, Sir joined as a researcher at Society for Applied Studies, Calcutta, and conducted research with United Nations Office of Drug and Crime, FHI, PCI, and other significant bodies. He trained a large number of civil societies, organizations in South and Southeast Asia, developed training modules, edited books, played a key role in developing civil society organization named Sparsha. As a research coordinator at NGO, namely Population Council International, he conducted research on HIV transmission in injection drug use settings, which helped National AIDS Control Organization, NACO, to formulate its operational guidelines. In 2008, Dr. Panda joined ICMR again and held various higher positions as Senior Deputy Director and Scientist F at ICMR and NCET Calcutta, as a head and of Epidemiology and Communicable Diseases Division in ICMR Headquarters, New Delhi, as a Director of ICMR National Institute AIDS Research, Pune, as an Additional Director General, ICMR Headquarters, New Delhi, and is currently the ICMR Dr. A.S. Paintal Distinguished Scientist Chair. He has published more than 130 research articles in reputed peer-reviewed journal, and he is also serving as an editor-in-chief in Indian Journal of Medical Research. So I think we all welcome you, sir, to this prestigious national conference. And thank you very much for gracing the occasion. Thank you.
Good morning. Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Neelakandan, other dignitaries on the dais, and the dignitaries of the dais. Dr. Kritika started with an anecdote, so I should follow her footstep. Somebody said that human brain starts working when a baby is born and only stops when somebody is called in to speak in front of a gathering like this. And that's exactly my situation now. So I was thinking that how to come out of that. But then when I was listening to Dr. Jaideep Mahindra, who sort of dug out things that I did, I realized, oh my God, it would be very difficult, So people have done their research, because this is a conference which facilitates research. So it is going to be difficult, really, to speak of things in a conference of this stature, which is phenomenal. I was having my discussion with Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Neelakandan, and he said that here in this gathering we have the heads of the institutes, professors, researchers, research collaborators from multiple institutes. And being present in front of such a gathering, one becomes really humble and wonders what to talk about. But while I was looking at the title of this conference, which is about emerging trends of healthcare and multidisciplinary studies, and Dr. Kritika actually talked about how do we link or collaborate or achieve the need through multidisciplinary studies. So it's all about multiple disciplines. Because it's now known that it's not a person in a particular room or in a particular laboratory would, hit upon an eureka moment. The problems are assuming such a nature that it requires collaboration or networking between the disciplines. Of course, Dr. Neelakandan was very hospitable and offered a cup of coffee in his room. And then we were discussing, all of us, we were there, and Dr. Balakrishnan was also present. And so we were discussing what is happening now in India. In India, I think we are trying to be much more divided. I'm sorry to say this, but that's what exactly I am seeing. And not only divided, we want to remain confined also. So I was telling one of my colleagues from NIN Hyderabad, she will speak in front of you, and that the best course of action probably we wish to attain or achieve is to have a nice little office on the rooftop of our houses. We'll be very comfortable with our food and culture, and we'll say we are the best. Even my neighbor is not the best. Okay? So because we are splitting so much that we are very different, and we are different to the core that only me and my family becomes the best, and which is no research in terms of collaboration, networking, or multidisciplinarity. So the point I'm trying to make is that if we want to really solve the problem, which is around health and healthcare, we should be much more open and flexible rather than becoming divided and restricted. And the restriction even goes to the level of, I do not want to step out of my state and settle in another state because the food is different. How can the food be of concern? And while nice of Dr. Mahendra, while she was introducing me, I have actually lived in different states in India. And I think India is my country rather than the state I was born in. So that's the need of the hour, I guess, for us. Not only to get trained, I'm sure everybody will get trained very well. And then in order to achieve what we, take a vow for achieving, in order to be able to do that, we should be able to step out, not only of our houses and cozy family environment, but also out of the state, if the need be. And if you get a chance, do have a little chat with Vice Chancellor, Dr. Professor Neelakandan. And he said that, I thought that, I was very happy. But the moment I started doing my job in the army and the armed forces, I realized I did not know anything. Rather, my learning started after I started living in other states. And I was talking with my colleague from NIN Hyderabad, and she's from Kerala, and she has settled in Hyderabad. And I said, look, I started working in Gujarat and Kerala way back in 1995. And whatever I have been able to learn, that has been through this, this whole flexibility of being in different places. Because when people say, why do we do that? I mean, don't you feel uncomfortable frequently going out, staying somewhere? Of course, my mother was very angry, Even when I did not pass MBBS, I did not become a doctor even then. I was studying. So after first professional examination, I left home with a friend and stayed in Bilaspur, which was in MP then. And I was away from home for 1 month, did not write a single letter to my mother. I only wrote a letter to my youngest brother. And my mom was so angry. First of all, she said, why couldn't you write to us? Us meaning father and mother. And I said, no, I wrote to my younger brother. I wanted to write a small little poem. I wrote that in a postcard and dropped it. So actually, that was an adventure in myself. But from that time onwards, I started thinking, if there is a problem at a site, let's say there is a crime scene, a detective never solves a problem not going to the crime scene. Similarly, if you see herpes zoster happening in young adults, which is not the common age group for herpes zoster. We do expect herpes zoster in those who are immunosuppressed, right? But if it is happening in Manipur within the age group of 15 to 45, which is very unusual age group for herpes zoster, caused by the same virus which causes chickenpox. We do get chickenpox in my childhood days. I got it, and I could not, go to the school annual sports. That is the saddest day of my life. It still remains as the saddest day of my life. I do not know how many of you got chickenpox. I'm raising my hand. How many of you remember getting chickenpox? Okay, so I'm not alone. So we do have that virus hidden within us, and when the immunity goes down, it surfaces up in the form of herpes zoster. Knowing that, when in Manipur, many young people were getting, by young I mean within 15 to 45, that's not the time when you get herpes zoster. You go much elderly in order to have immunosuppression. Why so many of them were getting herpes zoster? I was in Manipur. I had to be there in order to, first of all, observe this, ask this fundamental question, and then try to solve it. I couldn't figure out that I would be able to solve it. But finally, when I could, nobody believed that. Then I was much lanky. I had much more hair. HIV took away half of it, and then COVID took the rest of it. Okay? So, but that's okay. So I was thin, lanky with beard and all. And from there I wrote a paper which was accepted by the British Journal of Infection, And then everybody said, hey, call that fellow. Because Delhi believes that Delhi is India, which I don't believe. Delhi is Delhi. And well, Tamil Nadu is Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal is West Bengal. So all of us make it India. So then they called me in order to figure out what this thin, lanky fellow has written with, again, beard. I used to keep beard. My mom did not like it. My father liked it very much. So I took the advantage of them having not a single opinion about whether to keep beard or not. My mother always thought that without beard I look much nicer, but my father, that's okay. I mean, if he wishes to, let him. Anyway, that's a story apart. The point I'm trying to make is that we have to step out, we have to be with the problem, identify the healthcare-related issues, which are very context-specific. So I will end by saying that implementation research is something that medical faculties and the biomedical researchers do not want to do much. But it is so very important that without undertaking implementation, which is tough, people think that discovering a medicine, discovering a diagnostic procedure, even validating a diagnostic test is the ultimate. No, not at all. You show what works, but you cannot take it for granted that it will be invariably or necessarily be taken up by the health system. So healthcare is not about healthcare only in the private setting or in the government setting or in the community or even in a village setting, which is very different. The settings are very different. So in order to have a multidisciplinary study so that we could improve the healthcare, it requires all of us to remain flexible, to think that, well, wherever the problem is, I'll be open to the idea of collaborating, networking, and then try to find a solution by joining hands, not by dividing or creating divisions amongst ourselves and remaining restricted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. After this conference, we're sure that the delegates will unite and collaborate to provide research of high standards. Thank you very much, sir. May I now invite our Vice Chancellor to kindly do the honor of releasing the conference proceedings and hand over the first copy to our esteemed Chief Guest, Dr. Samiran Panda. Thank you, sir. May I now welcome Dr. A. Pavitra, the Organizing Secretary of NCETHMS'24, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, respected colleagues, and dear participants. As we draw to the close of the inaugural function of this enriching and insightful national conference on emerging trends in healthcare and multidisciplinary studies, NCETHMS'24, I am honored to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing committee. Firstly, I wish to express my deep respect to Thiru A.N. Radhakrishnan, Founder Chancellor, whose vision has enabled this significant gathering for the advancement of medical and multidisciplinary research. I would also like to acknowledge the valuable support of the management and administration of Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research deemed to be university. Our deep gratitude extends to the patrons of NCETHMS'24, Mrs. Gomati Radhakrishnan, our interim chancellor, and Mrs. Jayanti Radhakrishnan, pro-chancellor, for their unwavering support and encouragement, which has shaped this national conference into a grand event. I wish to extend my sincere thanks to Professor Dr. R.S. Neelakantan, Vice Chancellor, for his able leadership, which has steered this committee towards excellence. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Professor Dr. C. Kritika, Pro-Vice Chancellor, for her constant guidance, which has been instrumental in making this grand event a reality. I am also extending the gratitude to Professor Dr. V. Sureka, Registrar, for providing able support at every stage of our planning and execution of this conference. On behalf of the organizing committee, I express my gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Samiran Panda, former Additional Director General of ICMR New Delhi, ICMR Dr. A.S. Paintal, Distinguished Scientist Chair, Editor-in-Chief of IJMR, New Delhi, for gracing this event and sharing his valuable insights. On behalf of the organizing committee and the management, my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Gopakumar, Joint Secretary, UGC, for accepting to render the keynote address, which will be followed shortly. I wish to extend my humble gratitude to Dr. Sylvia Fernandez Rao, scientist from NIN, Hyderabad, who endured several hours of delay in her flight to Chennai yesterday and still made it to a conference to deliver an important lecture on study designs. Her dedication is an inspiration for all of us here. On behalf of the organizing committee and the management, I extend my gratitude to Professor Dr. Jaideep Mahindra, who graciously agreed to be the scientific chairman for NCETHMS'24 and guided her team ably. We are sincerely indebted to the session chairs from various renowned institutes who will be giving their valuable time and intellectual inputs to evaluate our scientific papers in later part of the day today. A special mention to our sponsors and partners of this grand event. On behalf of the organizing committee and the management, I thank Indraprastha Medical Corporation, New Delhi, and Apollo Hospitals, Chennai, for the generous sponsorship. We are highly indebted to Siemens Healthineers, MCure Pharma Limited, Sri Sai Consulting and Mechanical Works, MG Vellore, Rehab Store, Orange Child Development Center, Akara Foundation, BPO Track, El Shadi Dental and Surgicals, YSP Scientific and APT Dental Distributors for their gracious, generous sponsorships. Your generosity and support have been pivotal in the successful execution of this conference. Our appreciation extends to all the delegates and participants who joined us both in person and virtually from various parts of the country. To all the presenters and authors who have shared their research findings and innovations, we are grateful for your contribution, which has fostered a spirit of knowledge sharing and collaboration. I wish to extend my deepfelt gratitude to the dedicated organizing committee members from all our constituent colleges, research scholars of Department of Research, volunteers in our Maher campus and constituent colleges, MMCHRI, MEDCH and MCON, where parallel sessions have been planned and executed meticulously, and all the faculty of our constituent colleges. Your hard work, commitment, and meticulous planning have been the backbone for the success of this event. Thank you for ensuring that everything was conducted smoothly. I extend my humble gratitude to our organizing chairman, Dr. Arunagirinathan, Dean of Research, for providing able guidance and encouragement at every stage of our planning and execution and sharing his rich experience, which has helped us in shaping this event into a grand one. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Joint Organizing Secretary Dr. Nalini, who ably handled and planned the coordination of all the 11 pre-conference workshops, which was successfully conducted on the 18th and 19th of July in 4 different venues of our constituent colleges spread in Kanchipuram, Madurai, and Mahir campus with renowned resource persons and 768 enthusiastic participants taking part. I want to thank all the organizers and committee members of IQAC members, headed by Dr. Shyam, who guided us at every stage to help us maintain the high standards and quality set by Mahir. For the finance committee, ably held by finance officer and the accounts department for keeping tab of all the financial transactions related to the conference. My thanks to the registration committee headed by our organizing chairman and research scholars of Department of Research Mahir for handling online and offline presenters and participants smoothly and relaying data to the constituent college coordinators. My humble gratitude to the technical committee headed by Dr. Pon Murugan, Mr. Murli, and Mr. John for planning the technical aspect of this conference and providing the necessary details for the same. My humble gratitude goes out to the hospitality committee headed by Dr. Balakrishnan in handling our guests and Mr. Sarath Kumar, Senior HR, and Mr. Naveen for providing the necessary support in terms of booking and transport arrangements. I extend my warm gratitude to the food and venue arrangements made by Dr. Nalluswamy and Mr. Sri Jayaraman for ensuring we are all not left hungry, and the campus gets its festive look for this grand event. I also extend my thanks to the Auditorium Arrangement Committee headed by Dr. Shivamalar for the wonderful decorations which has set the stage, literally and figuratively, for the inaugural plenary and valedictory sessions. I extend my thanks to Conference Proceedings Committee headed by Dr. Karunanidhi and Dr. Tarini, who ensured that we scrutinized all the submissions and documented them well. Many thanks to our librarian, Mr. Vijay Kumar, who facilitated the availability of the authorized tool Turnitin for this committee. I extend my thanks to graphic designer Mr. Jagdeesan for patiently and meticulously designing all our banners, certificates, and brochures for all the pre-conference workshops and conference events. I should definitely thank the photographers and Department of Visual Communication and the faculty and students for creating excellent videos and for the photo documentation at every step. My heartfelt thanks to our PRO, Mr. Srinath, for ensuring fire safety, police protection, traffic handling, and parking facility, everything smoothly. Our electrical in charge, Mr. Yuganandan, deserves gratitude for ensuring uninterrupted power supply throughout the 4 days of events, which is another 2 days to go. I express my humble, heartfelt gratitude to the Dean of MMCHRI, principals of MADCH, MCon, AMCon, FAHS, Faculty of Pharmacy, Faculty of Humanities and Sciences, Faculty of Physiotherapy, Faculty of Occupational Therapy, Faculty of Yoga Sciences and Technology, teaching faculty and non-teaching staff of all our constituent colleges for working as a team to ensure maximum presentations and participation, without which we couldn't have gone this far. A heartfelt thanks to the offices of Vice Chancellor and the Pro Vice Chancellor and the Registrar for handling all the official communications throughout the conference planning stages. To the technical staff and administrative officer providing all the arrangements at various venues, and to the maintenance department headed by Mr. Naveen and housekeeping staff of maintenance department for ensuring cleanliness in the premises. I also thank the student volunteers and all those who directly and indirectly contributed contributed to the smooth conduct of this event. Last but not the least, I thank Lord Almighty for guiding each one of us to organize this grand event, and I pray for the successful conduct of this national conference, NCETHMS'24. As we conclude the inaugural event, let us look forward to the knowledge and insights gained here from the respective from the speeches that are going to happen and the deliberations that are going to follow. Thank you all once again for everyone for being part of this conference. We look forward to your continued support and participation in future events. I'm sorry I made a very long speech, but this big event wouldn't have been possible without the help of so many people. I'm sure I would have missed one or two in the process, but there is a heartfelt gratitude that is there to all those involved at every stage of this conference planning, execution, and now we are right into it. I extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Dr. N. Gopakumar, Joint Secretary, University Grants Commission, New Delhi. Sir will present on the topic Multidisciplinary Education. I invite Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. C. Kritika Ma'am to introduce our distinguished speaker, Dr. N. Gopakumar.
Good morning to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce a very distinguished academician whom we have with us today, Dr. N. Gopakumar, the Joint Secretary for Deemed Universities of the University Grants Commission, New Delhi. Dr. Gopakumar has a commendable academic background, having earned his Master's in Zoology from Madurai Kamaraj University. Endowed with a curious mind that was eager for research, he pursued and completed his PhD from HNB Garhwal University, Uttarakhand. He has an illustrious research background that includes serving as a field investigator for INTAC in the Andamans and as a senior research associate conducting radio telemetry studies in fruit bats. Notably, he has also served as the principal investigator under the Young Scientist Scheme of DST. In addition to his research background, Dr. Gopakumar has extensive administrative and leadership experience from his long tenure with the UGC. His journey with UGC began in 2004 as an education officer, a role that he held until 2009. He then served as Deputy Secretary from 2009 to 16, and since 2016, he has been serving in his current role as the Joint Secretary. Dr. Gopakumar has played a crucial role in coordinating several expert committees responsible for drafting many of the important regulations and guidelines of the UGC. He has been the coordinator of the expert committee which drafted the UGC SWAYAM Regulations 2021 that laid down the credit framework for online courses. He also played a key role in coordinating the committee which framed the UGC Regulations 2021 on the minimum qualifications for appointment of teachers and other academic staff in universities. Furthermore, he was instrumental in framing the UGC minimum standards and procedure for award of PhD degree 2022. In addition, he contributed significantly to the designing of the curriculum and credit framework for both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. He also coordinated the expert committees that framed the guidelines for multiple entry and exit in academic programs in higher educational institutions, the educational framework for global citizenship in higher education, and the National Higher Education Qualifications Framework. I would like to express my immense gratitude to you, sir, for graciously accepting our invitation and joining us as a keynote speaker. We look forward to your insights on multidisciplinary education, which is the need of the hour as per the principles laid down in the National Education Policy 2020. This, I am sure, would rightly set the tone for this conference that hinges on the theme of multidisciplinary education and research. It is an absolute privilege to have such an eminent person with us as our keynote speaker. Meher proudly welcomes you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you for the organizers. It's a privilege for me to participate in the National Conference on Emerging Trends in Healthcare and Multidisciplinary Studies. And having worked in many committees in the UGC, it's an opportunity for me to share with you some of the recent developments of the initiatives taken by UGC in the arena of multidisciplinary education. So, the National Education Policy announced in the year 2020 have many very path-breaking directions. Few of the things which we are going to present before you today are the multidisciplinary and holistic education, flexible education, and integration of general and vocational education. So, which are the tools which are going to drive these path-breaking reforms in the higher education? These are the documents, few documents developed by UGC recent times after the NEP 2020 and based on the recommendations of 2020. The first one is the National Credit Framework, then the National Higher Education Qualification Framework, and the Curriculum and Credit Framework for UG and PG programs, multiple entry, multiple exit system, academic bank of credits, and also to some extent the PhD regulations also, which was notified in the year 2022. So these are the documents notified by UGC recently: the Higher Education Qualification Framework, National Credit Framework, and the Credit Framework, Curriculum and Credit Framework for undergraduate program. And the PG programs was notified only a month ago. It is already available in the UGC website. The first one, let us see the National Credit Framework. The National Credit Framework, if you go before that, the National Education Policy recommends that every form of learning should be included. Every student should be in a multidisciplinary education. So to bring in holistic and multidisciplinary education, it is essential that we have to give due weightage for all forms of learning. So how we give weightage to all forms of learning? That is only through giving some credits. So creditization of all forms of learning is the basic fundamental rule for the National Credit Framework. So starting from the school education onwards till the higher education, doctoral level, all the qualifications have been put under different levels based on the learning outcomes. And each qualification has been placed with some minimum credits also. So for example, here the tables, this is the table, the entire spectrum of the credit levels starting from school education to doctoral program. So this table gives an idea about the creditization of general education, vocational education, and right from starting from school education to higher education. So the qualifications have been arranged at different levels, starting from point 1 and ending at level 8. And if you see, the higher education starts from level 4.5. The first year equivalent 4.5, then second year of UG program will be 5, third year of UG program will be 5.5, and fourth year will be 6. Then 6.5 will be the master's degree, 1 year master's or 2 years master's, and then 7, the master's degree in professional programs, and 8 is the PhD. So starting from 4.5 to 8 is the levels assigned for higher education. And at each level, there will be a minimum 40 credits. So it should not go less than 40, but the minimum should be 40 credits for each year. This is how the higher education credit framework has been designed. So when we see, after seeing this national credit framework, we have assigned the credits for each qualifications. Now, to ensure the mobility from one stream to another or one institution to another, how this mobility is ensured? So there comes the role of national, the learning outcomes for each qualifications. That means the curriculum will be developed on the basis of what a student should have learned or the competencies the student should have achieved after the completing a degree program. That is the learning outcomes, and based on that, the curriculum should be developed. So once the the outcome-based learning is the curriculum is set, then it will be easier for the mobility of students from one stream to another or one institution to another. Because if the learning outcomes matched with one stream to another, the percentage of the learning outcomes matched with the stream which you are going to opt in the future, that much courses will be waived off from your proposed course. This is the fundamental basis for the mobility and flexibility for students from one level to another. So coming back to this National Higher Education Qualification Framework, as I mentioned, this starts from 4.5 to 8. It comprises 7 levels. Each level, the qualifications are arranged based on the complexities. See, for example, the qualifications for the first year UG or second year UG or third year UG or PG, whatever it is the every year the learning outcomes are broadly put under these the key elements: knowledge and understanding, skills required to perform and accomplish tasks, application of knowledge and skill, generic learning, constitutional, humanistic, ethical, and moral values, and employment-ready skills and entrepreneurship skill mindsets. So, for example, if a student joins in the first year of an undergraduate program, under all these key elements, the student is expected to have a basic level of knowledge in all these 6 key elements. When the student moves to second year, under the same key elements, the student is expected to learn little more complex things under these key elements. Like that, it goes on, the complexity increases year by year. Let me show one example. So let us take the second one, skills required to perform and accomplish tasks. So if we take this, how the complexity increases from one level to another, let us see in an example in the next slide. So this is the element I mentioned, skills required to perform and accomplish tasks. And at the level 4.5, the first year of undergraduate program, the cognitive skills to analyze information, and the level 5, cognitive and technical skills to analyze information, along with cognitive technical skill also got included, and cognitive and technical skills to evaluate and analyze complex ideas, and level 6. Level 6 is the fourth year of UG, cognitive and technical skills relating to the research methods and techniques, and level 6.5, that is a master's degree in general levels like MA, MSc, MCom, advanced cognitive and technical skills for conducting research, And level 7 is the masters in professional programs, and here the advanced cognitive technical skills for conducting research. And level 8, here this is the doctoral level. So the cognitive and technical skills for conceptualizing, designing, and implementing research to generate original knowledge. So you can get an idea under each, as the student moves from one year to another, the complexity of knowledge gain is also getting increased year by year. So this is for one element I have mentioned. So if you see the each of these 6 elements, the same kind of complexities, the variations in the complexities from year by year, it is given clearly in the National Higher Education Qualifications Framework. So this is in summary that the entire National Higher Education Qualification Framework we have given. 4.5, the first year student joins an undergraduate program, and then second year, third year 5.5, one exits. The student will get a UG degree. And if continued for the fourth year also, the student will be eligible for a 4-year undergraduate degree, either honors or honors with research. And 6.5 is PG degree. It has actually two types of masters now we have. One is 1-year masters, and another one is the 2-year master. The students who join after a 3-year undergraduate program will undergo a 2-year masters, and after completing a 4-year UG, the students will be eligible for a 1-year master. So those students who join for a 2 years masters, if they want to exit after first year, then they are eligible for a PG diploma. Similarly, the multiple entry exit system also provides opportunities for students to take a break, or due to some unforeseen circumstances, if a student wants to exit after 4.5 or 5 or 5.5, 5.5, anyway they will get a degree. But 4.5 and 5, they are eligible for a certificate at the first year and diploma at the second year level. This is not mandatory for students, but see, for example, a student who completes first year, they can come anytime as per the time limits given in the academic bank of credits and rejoin the same, continue the same program and complete it. But the same student, if he or she wants to undergo some skill courses also after exiting the first year or second year, so that they can gain some employment in the in-between period. So there also we have UGC has made a provision that the institution can offer a skill minimum 4 credit exit course, skill courses or apprenticeship or internship, whatever it is, so that the students can gain some employment after taking a exiting from the first year masters, bachelor's, or a second year's bachelor's. So those students will get a certificate after first year and a diploma after the second year. And third year, it's a UG degree, and fourth year, UG honors or honors with research, and PG diploma also. And the 6.5 is PG degree, and 7 is the master's in professional program like ME, MTech, MSc Agri, like that. And 8 is the doctoral program. And as per the important the provision made in the as per the NEP recommendations, the new policy is after completing a level 6 4-year UG program, the student is eligible for a direct entry for PhD also, subject to the entrance requirements, either the national level entrance examination or as per the university. So largely we have seen that multiple entry exits and the importance of national credit framework, and the national credit framework actually enables the creditization of all forms of learning, and the creditization can happen only if the learning outcomes are defined, and for that a template UGC has already developed for the learning outcomes, that is the National Higher Education Qualification Framework. And that also gives the lateral entry, all those things, skill based exit courses, and the PG, 2 levels in the PG and the doctoral program. So based on these these two the documents, basic documents, the National Credit Framework and National Higher Education Qualification Framework. UGC has notified the curriculum and credit framework for undergraduate program in the year 2023. So this gives a lot of opportunities for students. The flexibility is the hallmark of this document. For example, as you mentioned, the entry and exit is already there. In addition to that, if when a student joins in an undergraduate program, they can choose a major and minor in the first year. And at the end of the first year, they will have again, they can have an option whether they want to retain the same major and minor or they want to change. And this document provides an opportunity for that also. And certification, we have mentioned the certificate and diploma, the flexibility in the first year. And another important thing is to earn a degree in a particular discipline, the student has to earn 50% of the credit from that discipline. And the rest of the 50%, it is for the students to choose from a variety of courses. It can be multidisciplinary courses, skill courses, vocational education, or even entire 50% apprenticeship also possible. So it is for the students to use to select the proper courses and tailor the remaining 50% as per their requirement. So going by the number of credits we mentioned earlier, it is 40 credits in a year. So 40%, 40 credits in a year means in a 3-year undergraduate program, it will be the minimum number of credits will be 120, and in a 4-year undergraduate program, the minimum number of total credits will be 160. So out of these 160 in a 4-year program, 80 credits should be earned in a particular discipline to earn an undergraduate degree in that discipline. Similarly, in a 3-year undergraduate program, students should earn minimum 60 credits from that from a particular discipline to earn a bachelor's degree in that. And this after the notification of the undergraduate program framework, UGC a couple of weeks back notified the curriculum and credit framework for the postgraduate programs. So, like the and budget program of flexibility in choosing the program or the BA economics, but in the master's level, if they want to do masters in a different subject, they are eligible to do that, provided they clear the entrance examination, either at the national level or at the institution level. And flexibility in choosing the program, and the most important thing which included in this PG curriculum framework is the creditization of the experience. The creditization of the experience is, for example, after completing 1 year in a master's program, if the student exits and has a some 10 years or more valuable experience in a particular field, if they come back, if their experience, the committee will be assessing their experience. If their experience matches with the learning outcomes of the particular master's degree, then the courses which are equivalent to the experience of the candidate will be waived off. Accordingly, the duration can be that particular credits will be awarded to the candidate in completing this master's degree. I will just show the example also from the documents. Is it visible, the framework, what I am sharing in the screen? This is the PG framework. We can see in the screen that first year PG and the second year PG. The flexibility is, you can see here, for example, when a student join in a 1-year PG, the entire the course content can be either research based or research and coursework or coursework only. So similarly, in a 2-year PG program, in the second year, the same kind of flexibility is maintained here also. The course contents can be research-based or research and coursework or only coursework. Similarly, let me show the UT also. Yeah, this is from the undergraduate program, the curriculum and credit framework. The different the curricular contents are given here. Major, it should be 60 in a 3-year UG, and in a 4-year UG, it should be 80, so that they can earn the degree in the particular discipline. And similarly, minor streams, minimum 12 credits for one minor. So there will be 2 minors totaling 24 in a 3-year UG and 32, 3 minors in a 4-year UG. Multidisciplinary education and ability enhancement, and skill enhancement, project work, internship, all these are the components given in the suggestive framework for undergraduate. So now the another important aspect given in the national education policy is the recognition of prior learning. Like what we mentioned in the experiential learning, one can see for an example in the postgraduate programs, we have given one example also, which I'm not able to display currently. It is available in the website, the curriculum and credit framework for the postgraduate programs. For example, if somebody is having an experience of 15 years, the table shows a person's experience. If it is 1 year, what is the weightage? 1 to 4 years, what is the weightage? 4 years to 7 years, what will be the weightage? More than 7 years, what will be the weightage? So accordingly, between 1 to 2, the weightage is given. So for example, a student who has exit at the time of the first year masters with 40 credits and come back after 7 years. So he is eligible for weightage of 2. So the entire, whatever the credits they have earned the last time, that can be multiplied with this by 2. So that will be the weightage. That will be the number of credits one can earn after experience or bringing the experience into the credit framework. So this is one suggestive way given in the document. Similarly, the institutions can develop their methods to creditize the experience. And going one level beyond this, that is the recognition of prior learning, which is recommended in the national education policy. Even an experience of an for example, we inherit some job, or we informal, formal, or non-formal learning. All these kinds of learning can also be creditized through a system called recognition of prior learning. And through this recognition of prior learning also, one can, whatever their competences one has, that can be put before a committee in the form of portfolios and other credentials, and that will be assessed by a committee, and the committee will give a recommendations to a higher education institutions to allot these many credits to the learner, and that much number of credits will be waived off from the required number of credits for a program concert. Like this, there are several such initiatives are recently announced, and these things will be, we are requesting all the higher education institutions to adopt these regulations or frameworks and guidelines so that the benefits intended are recommended in the National Education Policy 2020 reaches students. Thank you, everybody. I thank the organizers and the Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education Research. My thanks to all of you and all the participants for listening this short presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening session. I kindly request Vice Chancellor, sir, and Pro Vice Chancellor, ma'am, to come on to the dais and honor our eminent speaker.
That was an excellent lecture on multidisciplinary education by Dr. Gopakumar. Multidisciplinary education consists of the integration of multiple discipline, fields of study, or professions working together to achieve a common goal or objective, and it involves collaboration and communication among experts from different backgrounds. In a multidisciplinary approach, each discipline contributes in unique perspective, skills, and knowledge to address complex problems and develop comprehensive and sustainable solutions. Today, we had the esteemed Joint Secretary of University Grants Commission, Dr. N. Gopakumar, to share his insight and expertise on this topic. I would like to use this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Gopakumar for taking the time out of his busy schedule and accepting our invitation to be with us here. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure the participants have learned a lot and are filled with fresh new ideas to implement in future.
It's not
Thank you.
audible.
Today, we have had the esteemed Joint Secretary, University Grants Commission, Dr. N. Gopakumar, to share his insight and expertise on this topic. I would like to use this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Gopakumar for taking the time out of his busy schedule and accepting our invitation to be with us here. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure the participants have learned a lot and are filled with fresh new ideas to implement this in future. Thanking you once again. Sir, that was an excellent lecture on multidisciplinary education. Multidisciplinary education consists of integration of multiple disciplines, fields of study or professions, working together to achieve a common goal or objective, and it involves collaboration and communication among experts for different backgrounds. In a multidisciplinary approach, each discipline contributes its unique perspective, skills, and knowledge to address complex problems and develop comprehensive and sustainable solutions. Today, we have had the esteemed Joint Secretary of University Grants Commission, Dr. N. Gopakumar, to share his insight and expertise on this topic. I would like to use this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Gopakumar for taking the time out of his busy schedule and accepting our invitation to be with us here. Thank you very much, sir. I am sure the participants have learned a lot and are filled with fresh new ideas to implement them in future. Thank you once again, sir, for being with us. We got a memento which we will pass it to you through courier, sir. Thank you very much.